Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Have I Achieved Enough in Life? Acharya Prashant. I don't know if I said that correctly. This is kind of odd to have a disclaimer right at the very beginning. This video is aimed to bring peace, clarity, and understanding to one's life. It may, however, in spite of all our care, sometimes have an unnerving effect on the mind of the few listeners. Hence, it's advisable for those who are under the age of 18 or have cardiac or psychiatric ailments, or have any other relative conditions that might get triggered upon viewing. Must either avoid this video or exercise all due caution when watching this video. That's very strange to have that. He wishes all viewers to have peace and wellness and will not be responsible for any kind of harm or loss to the viewer. That's still kind of weird. Anyways, the title, Have I Achieved Enough in Life? This kind of reminds me a little bit of what Swami Sarvapriyananda has said about one of the stories he told about a student asking his teacher, am I enlightened? And it makes me think, I wonder if this applies to, I'm sure it applies to a lot of questions. If you have to ask that question, then you haven't. Am I enlightened? If you have to ask that question, you are not. Have I achieved enough in life? If you have to ask that question, probably not. Am I rich? That may not be the right question. But it's things that are, I don't know. I just wonder if you have to ask that question, you're probably not. How many questions that actually applies to. So anyway, let's go and get started.
How can one decide it is enough? Means whatever he or she has achieved is enough.
I would say that it's kind of weird to just like, it seems like a cop-out answer. When you look around and you're like, I'm satisfied. I think at that point, kind of like when you're enlightened, you just look around and you're just happy. You just kind of know. It's odd, and it's nothing concrete to say that, oh, this is the line, I'm satisfied. You know, I crossed it. You know, there's no like, you look on the ground, there's the line, unsatisfied, satisfied, step forward, satisfied, or achieved enough, or I'm enlightened. It's kind of a weird way to say just when you get there, you'll kind of know. You'll know pretty sure.
Means desires are increased day by day. Sometimes I feel that I have achieved more than enough. Now I should start giving it back to society. But again, my mind restricts me and says there is a lot more to achieve, especially to ensure a future of myself and my family.
You see, how do you know anything is enough? It has to be obviously assessed on the criteria of your need. To know your need, you must know yourself. Your need is another name for who you are. We are consciousnesses in need of upward movement, ascension, purification. That's who we are. Needy minds, needy consciousnesses. Anything you acquire in life is actually to fulfill that one central need only. Whether you acquire a t-shirt or status or a car or a family, money, experience, knowledge, irrespective of what you desire or acquire in life, it is really to meet that one inner need. Now tell me, how will you know whether you have had enough, acquired enough, gathered enough? You have to look at your need. Has the need been totally fulfilled? If the need has been totally fulfilled, kindly do not acquire any more. And remember, your need is not acquisition, acquisition of stuff is not the end, it is just a means towards something else.
I was going to say, all this stuff is just temporary. It's never permanent. And I'm a bit confused at the fact that once that need's fulfilled, then it's enough. I think to most humans, it's never enough, and I think that's the problem. And I think the reason why I think the reason why is because we're again searching for the external needs, and the external needs keeps change. Or let me say, we're searching for external needs, and things externally keeps changing. And when the external thing keeps changing, our external needs also change with it. So it's never ever always fulfilled. It's fulfilled temporarily until the external changes, then our external needs change along with it. The newest iPhone, the newest car, the brand new house, a brand new t-shirt, a brand new pants, brand new shoes, after the niceness, the coolness, the whateverness of it fades, it's a new need arises. And this is what Sadhguru Swami Sarvarpiyananda and a lot of other Swamis and Gurus have said, is to look inwards for fulfillment, because obviously, I was going to say that will never change. And I was thinking along the lines of your true self, which never changes. Your Turiya, your Brahman, Turiya never changes. So when you look inside for happiness, since it's never changing, your fulfillment will never change along with it. But I don't know. That makes beautiful sense, I think. But still, I do believe you have to look inside for your fulfillment, your happiness, true happiness in a way. And it's not wrong to look external for happiness, but do understand that it is temporary. And again, like Swami Sarvarpiyananda says, material things are just brief happiness. Doing work has a little bit prolonged happiness, longer than material things. Then the third one is servitude, in a sense, not like slavery obviously, but just serving other people gives you a lot longer happiness. And then the fourth thing, which is looking inwards for true happiness, eternal bliss.
So the question you would see by now is a bit misplaced. You are asking, how do I know whether acquired stuff is enough? As if acquired stuff itself is an end. Acquired stuff is a means towards an inner end. The inner end is the need of the consciousness to be fulfilled. So you look at inner stuff and ask, is the need still there? If the need is still there, what do I need to acquire now? What is it that I need now? I have had relationships, I have had money. To what extent have they worked for me? And how do you know whether they have worked for you? You ask, to what extent have they fulfilled my inner need? And if the inner need still exists, rather you find it to have aggravated, then what do? You say, all the things I have acquired till now have not helped. Because those things were acquired for the sake of consciousness. And instead of deepening and purifying my consciousness, those things have maligned and dirtied it. So the things I have acquired have not helped. Therefore, now I must acquire in a different direction. I still need, but not the things I have had so far. I'll go for acquiring stuff that would really help me, that really matters to me. And unfortunately, that's what most people do not ever come to know in their life. What is it that they really need? They don't come to know of it because they never care to ask the question, who am I?
Oh,
If you know
wow.
who you are, then you know what your need is. And then you will know what to do in your life, what to gather in your life, what to drop in your life. It's not that you have acquired enough. It's just that you have acquired the wrong things. You still need to acquire a lot.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, absolutely. You could literally acquire a lot of things and never be satisfied. This little acquiring of things are just temporary. Again, I keep saying temporary solutions. They're just like band-aids to a wound. They don't fix the wound, they just temporarily cover it up. But they're not permanent. And I was going to say, there's nothing necessarily wrong with acquiring things. This so far has been going, which Osho's teachings is the fact that enjoy the luxuries of life, absolutely. But I will say, do understand that those things are just temporary. They really are.
Till now, it's possible you might have acquired dirt and dust. You still need to acquire now some detergent. So the process of acquisition is not to come to an end. It has to be turned to the right direction, to the right things. Maybe you have some knowledge. That knowledge might have helped you to an extent. You are a professional, you would be having industry knowledge. To what extent has that knowledge helped you in your inner self?
Mm-hmm.
And if it has not, that does not mean that you do not need knowledge. It means now you need knowledge of a different dimension. Now you probably need wisdom literature and spiritual knowledge. Right? So
Sorely needed. Sadly, too. I mean, you look at, even in the Western world, you look at, not even a lot of people get intellectual knowledge, and they still want materialistic things. It's whether you have intellectual knowledge or not even intellectual knowledge in the Western world. This consumerism is very much the knowledge that's kind of fed. I won't say force fed to you, but it's just something that's obvious. And personally, I don't see anything necessarily wrong with it, even though a lot of people say, oh, you're being force fed this stuff. It's like, well, no. This is where I go with responsibility. I see all this stuff every day, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. I can't afford it, so I guess I can't have it. I understand and take responsibility for my actions. And that's not saying that I don't fall for them. I fall for them quite frequently. Like I said, I bought 13 or 14 of the shirts for $1. I don't need 14 or 13 shirts, but they're $1. So I will hopefully last me a lifetime. At least 2 weeks worth before I have to wash them. But yes, understand that even with all this materialistic things in the world, that you are not forced to do anything. And with consumerism and intelligence, it's not going to make you happy. It's all temporary, just because you keep constantly falling into this external happiness that you're looking for, and not internally, like what he's saying, what like everyone, all the gurus and swamis have been saying. And it's something that's not taught, honestly, in life, sadly. I guess a lot of people just don't think about things. Luckily enough, I thought about things, but not as deep as I have since I started watching all these wisdom videos. I've realized some things, but it's been kind of like, I understand it to a degree, just not completely.
So, spirituality is not about not acquiring stuff.
Double negative.
Spirituality is not about dropping the world. Spirituality is not about renouncing everything. Spirituality is about acquiring the right things that you need.
Not too bad.
Is that not fair enough and commonsensical? No. If I am thirsty, Must I ask for whiskey? I'll die. I must still ask for something. Not that I must not ask for anything. I must still ask for something. I must ask for water. I must learn to ask for the right things in life. That's what spirituality is. Learn to ask for the right things.
Not bad. Indeed. Indeed. That's a good one, actually. Yes. So, again, this goes to the teachings of Swami and Sadhguru, as well as Osho. Osho is just the odd one out for me. Well, not odd one out, but his teaching is a bit more... Well, it's different, honestly, and I like that. He's so far the only one that has... I mean, was quite blatant with what he says. But anyways, but yes, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask for whiskey if you're thirsty, although, you know, it's not going to be, again, it's not going to satisfy you for a long time. You're going to get thirsty pretty soon afterwards. So that's kind of like, I guess, what he's talking about, how you can get all these other things that are not what you need, but they'll satisfy you temporarily. And what you really need is water when you're thirsty. So that's actually really good advice. But to find out what you need, it's pretty, I would say it's pretty straightforward for most people. How do I say this? You have to kind of keep it simple, I suppose. Try to live a simple life, and if you have a simple life, you'll be happier. I do believe. I think there's been studies on that. People who don't demand a lot from life tend to be happier, and and that's why you see a lot of kind of like rich people that aren't very happy, because they, I don't know, maybe that's a feeling, I'm not sure. I'm sure there is a study out there that people, I do believe people who live simpler lives, whether they're rich or not, they could be very rich or quite poor, but if they live a simple life, they tend to be a lot happier. But people who try to party every week and constantly live that lifestyle all the time, because there's this expectation of them, or they want to keep up this persona, that is not a good thing. You will wear out a lot quicker. This kind of also goes to the dating game as well, to about keep going all over the place, but about like men who chase women who like wild and crazy drama, and men constantly trying to come up with this drama to keep this girl in their life, and you know, eventually they're gonna get worn out. It's like, you know, I can't keep up with all this drama. She's very beautiful, but that's what they only look for, is just their beauty. You can't, even though she matches in some sense with you, but if she just needs this drama all the time, it's not a good person for you. You'll be satisfied for a little bit, but eventually you're just gonna get tired of it. Man, that rule applies to a lot of things in life. Anyways, that's my reaction to Have I Achieved Enough in Life? Akarya Prashant. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.